Hello everyone and welcome back. So I originally wasn't going to do a video on this battle, but I think in light of my recent monk spammer video, I would put it up because this is what should happen if you spam one unit. And so let's jump right in. This is a 3v3 featuring myself, Catmax, and Commissar. We'll start over here on Catmax's side. He has 1 bow Ashigaru, 3 katana samurai, a naginata samurai, and a naginata warrior monk. Off in the trees he has 2 yari cavalry. In the middle here we have Commissar. He has 4 katana samurai, a fire rocket, a matchlock warrior monk, and 2 yari samurai, no cavalry. And over here we have myself on the right. I have 4 katana samurai, a bow Ashigaru, a yari samurai, a light cavalry, and then Little Claw is off on the side here with a yari cavalry and a fire rocket. So let's take a look at the other side's force. Over here on the right we have matchlock spammer. Look at all these matchlock Ashigaru. I'm not going to count them, there's something like 12 or 13 of them, and he also has a fire rocket. In the middle we have bow spammer with all bow Ashigaru, a lot of vets too, also a fire mangonel and 2 matchlock Ashigaru. And over here on the far right we have cavalry spammer, mostly yari cavalry with a couple lights interspersed in between them. So let's get started. So originally, since they had the siege weapon and all kind of ranged units with no stand-and-fight infantry, we originally thought that they were going to camp. So what we were doing is Catmax and Commissar were over here and they were going to work together to capture these buildings. I was going to come up and secure the archery dojo, seeing as they have so many ranged units. It was mostly just to keep it out of their hands. And Little Claw here is going to be in the forest, and they're going to be coming up slowly, trying to get off a good snipe, maybe on a general or on this cavalry. I'd rather shoot into the cavalry mass, actually, and just take out a lot of them. The yari cavalry will be slowly sneaking up. With the matchlocks it'll be dangerous, but I'll get as far as I can before they see me, and going right at their general, try and take them out. So yeah, as we expected, they were kind of coming towards the middle here, being all together. We expected them to camp right there. So that was how our strategy was going to go. We see Catmax and Commissar moving up over there to take those buildings, and the other team is moving into the middle. Meanwhile, the fire mangonel is going to take a shot at my light cavalry, who is dismounted to capture the archery dojo. And we're going to see those balls come in, and here they come, right at my light cavalry, and they're going to get lucky, and it's going to go right on either side of them. The horses weren't so lucky, and the survivors are going to run off, and my light cavalry will now be dismounted for the duration of this battle. So maybe not too lucky, but the good thing is, when your yari and light cavalry get dismounted, they're basically like yari samurai, so against cap spammer they'll still be useful. And they have a lot of the upgrades here, so they'll be fine. Meanwhile, I'm just kind of moving my force out of the mangonel range. Here comes another shot. They're going to get lucky again, and the fireballs are going to land on either side of the light cavalry. So I'm moving the rest of my force out of range, so he wastes his ammo on my light cavalry. Yari cavalry is still moving forward, as the matchlock is slowly creeping towards me. And I'll try to get as far as I can before rushing his general. Here they go, slowly walking through the forest. They're still hidden. Fire rockets are moving up too, going to try and get a shot off, but if matchlock spammer keeps coming too close, they're not going to be able to get a shot off, and I'll have to pull them back. Catmax and Commissar sitting tight on the right, trying to take these buildings here. Doing a good job. Catmax is also moving his cavalry around, trying to maybe get some early flanking. And they're going to be switching around their forces. Cav spammer is going to be pretty fluid in this battle, trying to get to a good side. His general's getting in a very vulnerable position right by these forests. My cavalry's going to be able to sneak up as close as they can, and the matchlocks start moving. So if I can catch the matchlocks while they're moving, I can get behind them before they shoot at me, and I can slam into his general. So that's what I'm going to try to do. They are running now right at me. They're going to spot me any second now. So right when they go, and there they are, going to run right through the matchlock Ashigaru. But somehow they're just going to kind of get stuck. The fire rockets also take a shot at my cavalry, but not going to do much good. Somehow I lost 9 men in that charge, so they're down to 11 right now. His general's going to move up too, and if I can just slip by him, I can hit his general, and there we go. Going to get a nice charge right into his general. He's down to 9 men right now. It must be a bow general. He's got the bow, and my yari cavalry were able to cut him down, so he must not be a melee general. It's a good sign for me. Down to 6 right now. If I can just take out his general, his matchlock Ashigaru won't be able to stand, so that was why. Very important early strategy, but there we go. Another fire rocket shot is going to make my yari cavalry shatter, and his general's going to be down to 3 men, but the general is still alive. Fire rockets are going to realize they're not going to get a good shot off of this angle with all those woods, so they're going to be pulling back as well. Catmax moving around, just kind of taking a look at the land, capturing these buildings, taking their time. My force has pulled up into the forest on top of the hill at the edge of the battle zone. Just want to stay out of range of any cheap shots. Yari cavalry, or the light cavalry dismounted, is still totally fine. Taking more shots, but they just can't seem to hit him. Landing all around, and just can't kill him. It was great, just totally wasting their ammo. You know, like, people complain about siege weapons, but it's easy to make them just waste their ammo, and they're basically a waste of Koku if you know how to deal with them. So we're going to see how this battle is going to eventually turn out. We have the the bow spammer over here. We'll be trying to hold off Catmax and Commissar. Cavalry spammer and matchlock spammer are going to be slowly moving in on me to try and overwhelm me. I think I have the archery dojo at this point, or it's just about to be captured. The fire rockets are moving back. Not going to be able to get a good shot off. I'm just going to have to try and just hold my ground and hope that Catmax and Commissar will be able to overwhelm the bow spammer as soon as possible. See, matchlock spammer is just slowly moving in on me with his entire force. And like, if he had just pressed me, I could have been totally screwed, because see, up here I have nowhere to maneuver. I'm just trying to hide in the forest, trying to buy time. And here we go, fire rockets shooting at my light cavalry. Again, going to be pretty much a miss, but they're going to get one guy. And so they're down to 14 now, but still, just wasting the ammo. I don't really care if my light cavalry dies. They're just going to be taking shots. So the fire rockets are going to just going to be pulling back at this point. Now, Catmax and Commissar have pretty much met up. They are taking the last building, the workshop, and then they'll be moving in on bow spammer. Meanwhile, matchlock spammer is slowly moving in on me. Very slowly. It was very scary in this battle because he was just slowly inching towards me the whole time, and I was just yelling over mumble at my teammates to hurry up so I wouldn't just get enclosed and just cut down, because it turned out to be a bad choice for me being up here in the hills right on the edge, because I have nowhere to maneuver, and as soon as matchlock spammer gets too close, I'm just going to be totally cornered and he can just mow me down with all those matchlocks. My bow's back here on reserve, just kind of waiting it out. Not really wanting to press an attack because I don't want to provoke him into moving too soon. I wanted to buy as much time as possible. So I know you're probably thinking, why don't I have my bows up here skirmishing? Well, I don't want to just push him into an attack. I don't want him to move forward. I want to just buy time for my other two allies to overwhelm bow spammer over here. Meanwhile, cavalry spammer is taking up his final position up here on this ridge. They will attempt to pincer me from two sides, and just with this tiny force here, we're in danger of being overwhelmed. But thankfully, I have my mainstay. My one Yari Samurai, level 5, and he will be on anti-cav duty, and it will be his job to take out the entire enemy cavalry army. But maybe the fire rockets will get a good shot too. Now, he wisely sends up one light cavalry to chase me off, and so I'm only going to be able to shoot at the one light cavalry, and he's going to take out my fire rockets. So his good move is then just one. If he sent the whole mass, my fire rockets could have probably just obliterated half of his army. So my light cavalry is going to try and take the charge for the fire rockets, but it's not going to work too well. He's still going to get a nice charge on my fire rockets. If he had been spread out and not in the wedge formation, probably could have just obliterated him right away, but it ended up working. My fire rockets have shattered, and without getting off a single shot. So I was in big trouble there. I was really counting on my fire rockets to counter cav spammer, but they just got obliterated there. I was not quick enough bringing my Yari down, wasted the advance rapidly. My general didn't get there fast enough either, but the light cavalry is still in good shape. They still have 11 men, and they'll be on anti-cavalry duty with the Yari Samurai. Bow Ashigaru is still just waiting on reserve. And again, if he had just pressed me with all these matchlocks, and here he comes, he's going to be slowly inching towards me this whole battle, but never just going to get up the nerve to actually attack. Meanwhile, mangonels are still shooting, but mostly wasting their ammo. They'll be out of ammo shortly and completely useless. Matchlock Monk's going to get a nice shot off right into the Matchlock Ashigaru. They're down to 17 men already, and they have shattered. Those Matchlock Monks using the rapid volley to just mow them down. This Matchlock Ashigaru is going to take another shot as well, and they're just going to get cut down by those Matchlock Monks. Those Matchlock Monks are very deadly. You should get a veteran one as soon as possible, because look at that. They are just mowing them down, and they have shattered. So bow spammer's gunpowder units are gone. Now all he has left is the archers, which will still outrange the Matchlocks, so they're going to have to be careful in their advance. Let's see. There we go. One of their cavalry charged in, but I routed them with the light cavalry and the general. No big deal. I'll triple speed because nothing's really going on right now. And here we go. He starts coming in to press me, but not hard enough. He keeps stopping. If he had just came up and set all of his force on this ridge, he could have just cornered me and just mowed me down. I would have had no chance. I don't know what he was waiting for. It's just so many people in this game are so terrified of attacking, they just won't ever do it. And you could have just destroyed me. It's amazing. Meanwhile, the fire rocket is going to get a nice shot into the enemy general, but not going to kill him. Still has 3 men left in the unit. And since they're quantity over quality in this battle, if we can just kill the generals, they'll break like nothing. So meanwhile, my bow Ashigaru are going to move up. I sense that he's going to start pressing me harder and harder. So I bring up my bows to actually start skirmishing now. Maybe try and lure out his cavalry is what I mainly wanted to do. I'm setting up my Yari Samurai in position to rush right in and block the cavalry charge. Same thing with the light cavalry. We're going to be hiding behind this building to shield themselves from the matchlock shot. So he's going to send one Yari cavalry out. Another good move. Don't want to waste your whole force, keeping everybody else on reserve. The Yari Samurai is going to move into block, and my general will bonsai right into him as well. So we get a nice little cinematic view. My melee general does a good job, just blocks that charge. Yari cavalry is down to 11, and the Yari Samurai will move in to finish him off. My bows escaped relatively unscathed, only lost 3 men. My general only lost 1, so he's still in good shape. And another cavalry unit down for Cav Spammer. So again, just buying time. And here we go. Capmax and Commissar finally pressed in on the bows with no matchlocks to scare them off. They're just going to run right in, close the distance as fast as possible, and this army's just going to crumble in no time. Bad idea to spam bows, because I have no chance, especially the Ashigaru. Maybe if they were samurai, they'd have a better chance, but... And there we go, they're just all going to shatter. Just 1 bow Ashigaru left at this point. No chance whatsoever. As now as it stands, we have 4 buildings to their 1. They have the shrine, which is good for them because they have Ashigaru, and that'll really help them stand and fight. So, Matchlock Ashigaru Spammer is still pressing in on me very slowly. I'm just screaming at my teammates to hurry up because he's just going to press in on me and just cut me down. I have no chance. I'm completely cornered. I'm trying to sneak my force through the forest away from the Matchlock Ashigaru. At least maybe I can get a nice hit into the Cav Spammer before he hits me. And now, this will be a really good illustration of why I always recommend to bring a Yari and not just rely on Naginatas, because watch what's going to happen. Yari Cavalry Spammer is going to be moving up shortly. Catmax's general is up here chasing off the Cavalry Spammer's general. But now watch this. Let's count how many cavalry units they have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 Yari Cavalry units are going to be running right into my Yari Samurai. And they're just going to take this charge, and let's see what happens. In fact, I'm going to run right into them too. We're just going to charge each other, and bam! And there it goes. My Yari have been obliterated. Right? But no. They only lost 6 men in that charge. There goes 7. And we're just going to be mowing them down. But we're getting in range of the matchlock, so I try and pull my guys back as well. And the Yari Samurai is going to block that charge. They only lost 10 men in that charge, and they did some good damage to the enemy cavalry. My bow Ashigaru are going to eat it, but no big deal. My katanas are going to move up to support because he still has a bad firing angle here. So I'm not too worried about these matchlocks. As long as I don't come too far over on this side, it won't be that big of a deal. The cavalry is wavering all over, their general's far away, and I'm just going to shatter this guy's cavalry army. That 1 Yari Samurai was enough to just take that charge, and now Cav Spammer's army is pretty much completely annihilated. He just has his general with 3 men. I'm going to run back to the forest really fast. So now it's pretty much a 2v1. All we have to do is take down the Matchlock Spammer. And Catmax and Commissar are... had a bright idea to try and get that achievement for controlling all the buildings. They're going to move to take the shrine. And I'm like, no, guys, I'm going to get just obliterated. Look at him just slowly pressing in on me. He's got me completely cornered. There's just nowhere I can go. I'm just going to have to buy time as best as I can. And it turns out he still has 3 units left, I guess. But they're all hurt. And so Cav Spammer's pretty much out of the picture. It's just going to be Matchlock Spammer. And he's got them spread out wide, which is a good idea, because the best way to beat Matchlock armies is to just try and maneuver around them and get them while they're moving at least. Or at least not walk right into the... right in front of him in a frontal assault. So here we go, slowly pressing in on me, but he's going to stop. And I'm just going to desperately try and sneak my guys through the forest, just to get out of the way. I don't want to get cornered and just cut down, because there's no way my little army is going to be able to stand up against this. He's got me totally cornered. Triple speed, nothing's really happening. We just got some movement. I'll check back in. Matchlock Spammer has stopped. Don't know what he was waiting for. Here come a couple other on the side. And Catmax's general, or not his general, it's a Yari Cavalry, level 8 I believe. So elite Yari Cavalry is going to come up to support me. I'm going to get my general out of there because I don't want him to get obliterated. I tried to move in to take out this wing, but they reacted, so I wasn't able to. Now we have fire rockets shooting again at Matchlock Spammer's general. Catmax's general as well is trying to catch up to him. He's used bonsai, he's got the speed bonus, and but the enemy general is going to get away, and he's going to walk right into these matchlocks. And let's see how that works. He's just going to get mowed down. And there goes his entire general unit. Catmax's general is dead. Bad sign. We are in danger of letting this battle slip away. And it's not a battle you want to lose. But the Yari Cavalry is going to take that opportunity to just smash into this wing. And try and get them all to rout. My Katana Samurai are also going to take that opportunity to hit him as well. Ignoring this guy's general bodyguard because it doesn't really matter. I divert my Yaris to... hit the cavalry that's all here. His general is there too, along with these 3 Yari cavalry, so I'm just going to try and take out his general, because if I can take out Red's general, his Matchlock Ashigaru will not stand for long. So I'm just going to swarm his general. His Matchlocks are out of position and not able to support the cavalry, and they're just going to get cut down in melee. He's reforming, though, to set up a position on this hill, and will make his last stand there. Meanwhile, Catmax's army has swarmed in to finish off this wing. And now about half of his army is dead, and it's just going to have to be a very careful assault against this position on the hill full of matchlocks. And there we go. His general is still alive, down to 2 men, and we will watch the end. Is he going to break? There he goes. His general is shattered. All the generals are dead on the enemy side, except this one, but he has no army, so it doesn't really matter. I'm going to try and send my general for early action, but bad move. He's going to get a shot, and there goes my general. So we're in danger of losing this. The matchlock morale penalty is going to be very serious if we don't have a very perfect attack. We're going to have to be very, very coordinated to win this. What's left of this Yari cavalry is going to be chasing down some routers. We're now just kind of waiting for a good opportunity. We have some more units just getting cut down, trying to get some maneuvering. There's just no way to attack from this side because of the border here. So we're going to have to be very careful and just envelop them from as wide an angle as we can. Commissar is going to meet me on this side too. We're just going to try and blob all of our units together and just push in and force our way in with the mass, and hope too many of us don't get cut down. I did use rally before he died, so my guys still have good morale for the moment, but we're going to need to act quickly if I don't want that to wear off. Cat Max setting up here on this side. He also has a cavalry back here. We're just going to need to attack him from as many angles at once that we can, and hit him all at once from different angles so he can't respond and get a big volley into all of us. Going to see some wavering, but not a big deal. I'm sneaking through the forest so he can't see me. But there we go, finally going to get discovered and start getting shot at. I'm going to pull back though, I don't want to assault quite yet. Meanwhile, the matchlock monks have popped their increased range and rapid volley and are going to be just pouring into these matchlocks, trying to kill as many of them as they can in the early action before we assault this final position. Cavalry is still moving around the back, trying to outmaneuver them. And remember, since the general's dead, the Ashigaru can't stand very well. Just one good charge could start a chain reaction and have his whole entire army rout. That's what we're going to try to do. Distracting him over here with a big force, and this cavalry is going to try some heroics and move in from the back to get a good charge off. He's got the hill advantage here. Matchlocks need that good angle, and they don't have it, so they're not going to be able to do much damage. And here we go. This matchlock Ashigaru is distracted and looking the other way, so this Yari cavalry is going to have a free shot right into his back. There we go. We have wavering already with that little charge. Meanwhile, we're still just trying to distract him from this side. I'm going to send a Yari Samurai out with rapid advance just to hold him down. And there we go. We have wavering all over now. This one little cavalry unit has started a chain reaction. We have wavering everywhere, and this is when we're just going to all push and try and capitalize on that momentum. So this one unit of 6 cavalrymen just routed, and there we go. The entire enemy army is shattered, set off the chain reaction because the general was dead. And there's the end of the battle. So I wanted to show that video, or this battle, because this is what should happen if you spam one unit. You just use a little strategy, and you should just be able to overwhelm them, no problem. So that's what happens if you spam. You got to have a balanced army, or that's going to happen. And it looks like we lost more men than we did. I don't think any of us lost more than like a quarter of our army. I think I lost like a third, but everybody else on my team lost like less than 100 men. So we didn't. I mean, it looks like we took more damage than we did. So it's really easy to beat these spammers most of the time. So thanks for watching, everybody.